know you do.
Truly. Truly.
Where's Greg?
Good question.
Greg,
Very good
where are
question.
you
Putting oil on his body.
Is he flaking out?
I'm going to call
Somebody
Greg
call-
now and find out where he is. I will. So go ahead, enjoy yourselves for 5 minutes. I'll be back.
Hey, Nell, I like the stuff you've been writing. I forwarded some of your tweets. Did you know that?
Who are you talking to?
To Nell.
Oh, I didn't do any tweets. I did some Facebook.
Yeah, I saw one tweet that was from you, I thought.
Okay, now I put some stuff on Facebook.
About how...
I'm not good at the tweeting business yet. I don't know how to do it.
It's easy.
Well, I saw one where you talked about how you're doing Immunix was anti-aging for you. Remember?
Oh yeah, I read it.
Yeah.
Now, do you have an account on Twitter?
Me or Nell?
Now, I'm asking now.
Yeah, you do, Nell. You have a Twitter account because I'm following you, I think.
Yeah, a few people are following. I don't know. I don't say very much. I had a couple of things that I mentioned. I've been more active actually here lately than before.
There you are. You're there.
Yeah.
You're Colibri.
Colibri.
88.
Colibri.
Yeah.
It's a hummingbird.
Oh, okay.
Hummingbird.
Netherlands. When my mother, who's 90 years old, saw Nell's picture, she goes, "Who's that woman?" I wanted to know who you were. You inspire the older generation. So,
Nell is a great girl.
a great gal. Yep. I always think about that Jodie Foster movie when I think of that name.
Bob and Jan, I enjoyed your movie so much.
Wasn't that fun?
Yes,
fun.
absolutely. It was
a
really,
blockbuster.
really nice.
Oh, thanks.
Can I have some money?
I'm getting good at that now.
That was exciting.
I want some money. Jan, I want some money. And I want to know.
I got that.
You get to ask me more.
Fine. That was a fun.
It was a fun one.
So, Roz, now that you're here and I can ask you this, what level of English do you teach?
I teach elementary, intermediate, upper intermediate, and the next level, which prepares people for the exam of the first certificate.
And do you do this through a language school, or is it?
A language school.
Uh-huh.
Through a language school.
Right. I'm
Do you
looking
want
for...
to teach?
Well, I was looking at some language schools here, and they were... I do teach English here, but I don't teach through a school. I teach privately, and I have like a group of kids that come over too, like 5 kids, and then I have a couple adults and some teenagers that need to know it for their graduation from high school, from the gymnasium. And then I was looking online, and there were some schools that are looking for native speakers, so that's, I don't know. If I have time, I don't know, we'll see.
I gave Barb an address of a school. Do you still have it, Barb?
I think I might have that email still, yeah.
And let me think, what's the name?
Online.
I think it's Go English, and you teach online, so that's worth trying, because you can do it through Skype or through the telephone from your home.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah. Try to Google Go English. And then I'll have a look, because, I think that's the name of the school.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Go data and go English.
Go English. Do you like teaching then?
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool.
I like it very much because every time I meet with my students, I teach them something and I learn a lot from them.
And how long have you been teaching?
Around 30 years.
Wow. Wow. And so where did you learn English? At school?
I learned it at school, then I went to London for a while.
Right.
And then when I was younger, I had a lot of English and American friends here.
Yeah.
Because I met people from other school, and so we spoke English.
Have you been to America?
No, never. I'd like to go very much.
Me too.
Let's make a plan, and we can all be here at the same time.
That would be great.
Come on, that'd be so fun. Bring a few people with you.
And where have you wanted to visit the most in America?
Well, of course, New York.
Yeah.
And then I'd like to see New Orleans.
Yeah.
I feel attracted. And a bit of everything, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I'm from California, and when I go to Italy, it reminds me of California. It's just very similar. Yeah. Yeah. The climate and I don't know. People are really happy there. It's so amazing because, like in Austria, people are a little bit closed up and not as outgoing and friendly. And then the minute I get into Italy, it's like, wow, overwhelming. It's so nice, and everybody's all happy and talking to you and, you know, in a good mood. And
it's a question of climate because in Austria it's colder.
I know.
So also the people are colder.
It's true.
Have you been to the south of Italy?
Yes. I've been to...
They are even warmer than in the north.
Right.
And it's beautiful in the south.
Yeah, I'd like to see Toscana. I spent a little bit of time there, but I'd really like to see. Yeah. So you're near Torino, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's not that far from where I am.
No, I'm around, let's say, 45 minutes from Torino by car.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you live in a big city?
Oh my God, you should see it. It's a small village.
I live in a small
village. Yeah, but really, really small. There are only farmers and cows.
That's exactly like where I live.
Yeah, some cats and a few dogs.
Yeah. Well, do you have like a store, a market, or any shops or anything?
No, absolutely nothing.
Wow, okay.
I have to take the car to go shopping.
So Ross, if you were like the head of this meeting, Ross, what do you think we should be like doing?
If I had this?
Since there's only 5 of us in these little villages, including me, I'm in a little village, relatively. Yeah, what should we do with our immunics practice? What's next for us now that we're all of us are cured, so cured? I feel very cured these days. Now I have to go to the next level.
No.
Maybe we should tell each other what our next steps are. Right.
Our next steps.
Our next steps. Yeah. What's our next step? How can we play bigger? How could you play bigger, Craig? Remember that? That was something we used to ask ourselves. How can you play bigger? What if do you think it's productive to resurrect any of the old people that used to come to these meetings that don't come anymore?
You're grasping at straws there, but and I like the idea. I mean,
we should sign them up for something.
I really like the answers, but
maybe we have to sign them up for something. Like I was thinking about that guy Jesus and some of these other people. Maybe they have to come instead of just watching. They have to.
I think if they left, they are not going to come back because I remember maybe last year, if not more, I wrote a message to Lise Andreasen asking her to come back. Yes, and she didn't even answer.
Oh, I didn't even know she came to me.
Oh,
And she's
Jesus.
very nice to me. She's very nice to me, so she often writes things to me or send me flowers and things like that on Facebook. But she didn't even answer the message, so I think it's useless.
Yeah. It's not for everyone.
We should find new people.
Well, it is for everyone.
I like the people we have, but I'm just curious.
I think
more
you
the
can look
merrier.
at individual people as a case study, but not like how do you attract, them, that person. Like Jesus, never, ever, ever, to quote Taylor Swift, was going to come back or be part.
Yeah, but like,
Don't
let's say
talk about
we looked at all these people that ever had kids or ever came to the website or ever came to these meetings, and we think of them each individually, and we think, well, what would their next step be?
Well, I sent a list of about 50
Yeah.
a couple times.
Well, I got like 8 or 10 of them a couple times, but I mean, well, yeah.
I sent long.
But maybe we could go through that list together here and adopt them something or. I don't know.
Yeah.
We could gang up on them. Me and Bootsy could talk to them.
I think I got more out of watching the tape.
Yeah. But I think we have to have something to ask them for, because inviting them to a meeting is too easy. They don't deserve a meeting. They have to, do something. Sign up for.
I got it.
Need help.
May I have some money?
May I have you? Will you sign up for this class? Yeah, I think I see it. Yeah,
You like it, don't you, Jane? You like it?
I like it.
Give me some cures.
Yeah.
There's a Broadway show in that. Give me some cures.
Yeah.
Well,
I think Bootsy's a secret
I think
weapon.
you should do a TED lecture.
TED lecture? Well, even in the TED lecture, that's where I got this idea. The guy was saying how important it is every now and then to have people be in front of each other, even physically, or I guess even like this.
Well, I must say I am enjoying myself listening to you.
Well, that's good that you're enjoying yourself.
Me
too.
Micah does not seem to be answering.
I'm here.
He's right there.
Micah!
Oh, hi Micah. Turn your camera on.
Okay.
My God, we'll actually have 7 people on camera. If his camera works now, this will be the most people that we have ever had on camera on any video. Ever.
Really?
Yes, if his camera works at this
Micah,
moment.
it's a new world's record. You can do it.
The pressure's on.
Buddy, stay calm. Don't lose the phone.
Don't move. You might jiggle it.
And then we have to get everybody's picture plus Bootsy's sound staying on. Then we really got a result.
Now, can you turn on your camera? Come on, Micah. Do you know how to turn it on?
Yeah, I'm trying to turn it on, but I hit the button. It's coming on. Camera.
Randy,
Greg, when you called me, you didn't give me a video call. You just gave me a regular call, right?
Oh, maybe. No, this is a video. Do you see everybody else?
You can switch off the video.
You see your little camera thing in your corner there?
Yeah, I see a camera button, but nothing.
Is it red or white?
Click the button.
At the
Yeah, I
bottom
have.
of the screen.
All right, let me
You
see.
can try calling him back.
Yeah, that's what I think might have to happen. Video call me back.
All right, you have to hang up, and I will also hang you up. Go ahead and hang up. All right. I'm going to wait a minute and call him back. Well, I will say, Ross, Ross, sit back and relax.
I can't on this chair. It's very difficult because the back is so hard.
I want you at least to pretend to be relaxed.
Okay.
Now-
Okay, I'll get an armchair.
Now, okay, all right, good. But yeah, you can still hear me, right? Ross?
No, she can't.
Oh, that's right. She wears a headset. Okay. Because I love what she said a minute ago, and I wanted to tell her that I love what she said, and I didn't get to say it. But anyway, you know, I tell you, like, Ross is on, like, a very good beam for this. You know, she truly
What?
she is on a very good beam for this. And let's hope he answers with video, because this is a video call. That's why we're all on video.
Greg,
No, we're not all on video. You're not on. And Franny's not. I think we should all be on.
You know, Greg.
Oh, that's right. Franny's not on video. She looks like a video, though, there, doesn't she? You wouldn't know that she's not on video.
Let's see, how many people?
Micah, do you?
I didn't get a video call. I got a regular call. It didn't give me the option to add the video.
Call him back.
You know, no, this is a video call, but you know what? I have a feeling that it's possible that Micah may not have the latest Skype on his thing, so he can only
check that.
do one
No,
on.
Greg had me on video earlier.
Yes, but we might not have the latest Skype. But
So you can't group video.
Let me turn off my video and see if that helps. See if you can turn yours on now.
Do I look relaxed or do I look dead?
Greg, that won't help. You can turn your video back on.
It doesn't go off or on. Nothing I can do now.
No, you shut your video off. Now turn
I
it.
see, but now it finally. It took about a minute to go off. Now it's back on. So I don't know what it is.
Well, Mike, I guess you're going to be listening to this.
I can see Barbara now.
Oh,
I
yeah?
see a picture.
See, I think it's partly because you're not contact friends with him. Like, I just sent him a contact request.
Oh, maybe.
Mike could contact friends. We wouldn't be on.
Yeah, but maybe the person who called him isn't.
No, he is my contact.
Okay.
I have. That's how I called him. Now, Ross, I wanted to tell you. Remember when Barb was talking about resuscitating old, dead people? A minute ago or so, and you said, let's get new people, remember? I thought that was great. And you are so on the right wavelength with this. I really appreciate you. And it really shows me that, like, you know what we're doing here. And also, like, I invited Micah to come to this meeting. Micah, I don't know if you're actually eligible for the Cure Team, but I thought it wouldn't hurt for us to, invite you, because Mike is a really nice guy, and who I like. I was talking to him the other day, and I really like this guy. It's too bad that you can't see him, But what we can do, and Jen, you don't know him, and Ross, you haven't met Micah yet. But anyway, hi, this is Micah. Nell, Micah.
Hello.
Pleased to meet you, Micah. Pleased to meet you.
I'm just introducing you guys together. So Micah, one thing I thought we could do is help you with your signal. Why don't we start with that? Who wants to help Micah? How about Bootsy? You go and see if you can help him get a signal.
Okay. Hi, Micah.
It would be very good to have him on screen.
Yeah. Hold on, something happened to my Skype. Okay. Okay, so have you tried to get a signal?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I just
There's feedback on Franny's.
I know. Okay, I'm back. All right, good. Now it's working. I also want to say that it took me about 24 hours to get a signal. So I just kept asking a question, and all day long, I'd do it a few times, and then finally it came. So, it'll just happen when it happens. So I would say just relax your hands, relax your body. Are you totally relaxed?
Totally.
Okay, good.
without collapsing.
But I'm starting to get really hot though.
Well, that can also be a signal. Where do you feel hot?
In my entire upper body.
Okay. Well, some people, they get signals. It's just a change in your body that you notice, and it's an involuntary change. So just, be aware of that. So let's start with asking the question, can I cure things?
Okay.
You want to say it?
Can I cure things?
Okay. You feel any changes?
What I'm feeling is I'm feeling movement in the center of my palms. I feel that. And my heat.
In the center of your what?
Palms. Of my hand.
Palms. Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Well, what do you, that might be your signal. Let's try another question. Are you working on curing anything?
No.
Okay. Well, how about, try this question. Am I connected?
Am I connected?
Oh, by the way, there's always something to cure. Just a note. That's the way life is.
Okay.
So you feel anything now? It's a similar feeling?
Similar feeling.
Okay,
like,
does it go away? Or is it just always there right now? Okay, there's feedback going on.
Yeah, it's
Like, is there any
consistent.
change from it's consistent. Okay.
So as soon as we started, it's like my heating up.
Okay.
Now put yourself on mute, please. And Mike, I think your speaker's just close to your microphone. It's feeding back into your system. Or something, maybe it's too loud. We'll tell you. Thank you.
Is that better?
Well, we'll see when Bootsy talks. Go ahead.
Okay.
Carry
All
on.
right. Is that better? No.
Now I hear a lot of echoing. I didn't hear it before, but I hear it now.
Don't softly now.
Hello? Do you hear any echo? I don't hear any.
No, it sounds okay.
Okay, so let's carry on. Go ahead. You were saying?
Okay, so since we started the call, you felt the heat and there hasn't been any change?
No, since you said you were going to help me, I felt
Okay. Okay. Well, I would go with that's a signal. Right, guys?
Yes?
Yes, me
Ask a
too.
couple more.
Yeah, you start where
minutes.
you are. You're getting signals, and that may change as you get more conscious. And
Exactly. The
intense.
more questions you ask, yeah.
You could ask if that heat is a signal.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Is the heat my signal?
Let's see if you get more heat. Quiet in the kitchen.
Okay, now I'm getting a movement.
Good.
Good.
The signal can change.
And where's the movement?
In the in my hands.
Okay. Is it? There's more.
It's a counterclockwise energetic movement.
Okay, in both of your hands?
The left.
Okay, good. Well, we just keep asking questions, and I think, wherever your signal's going to end up, it'll evolve to. You'll feel it.
Okay.
So what brought you to Immunix then? If you had nothing to cure, I asked you this before. Micah.
To help other people.
Okay, do you have a particular person that you'd like to help, or
I had a person that had a cancer problem that I was wanted to help her.
Is she gone now, or what?
No, she still has cancer.
Okay, so ask,
Yeah.
maybe you can test whether he could help her with her cancer. Now. Want to test that?
Okay.
Can I help her?
Can I help her with her cancer?
Let's not test whether you can help. Well, test. Okay, test. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry. Bye bye.
What do you want me to do?
No. Go carry on.
Well,
Sorry.
they did phrase the question differently. I don't know. What do you think, Bruce? But
No, just try that first. Can I help her?
Can I help her?
Can I help?
Yeah.
Okay, the movement's actually stronger. It just increased.
Good. Ask her. Ask if she can cure it.
Can she cure her cancer? I feel a movement, but it's not as strong as the last one.
So you think that you have to help her to cure it?
Do I have to help her to cure it? It's strong again.
So what would that help be? I mean, is it, first of all, she doesn't know about Immunix. Right? I mean, what are we actually getting at? Are we talking about her or about you? Maybe both.
So how do I ask that question?
Well, what comes to mind about this thing about helping her?
Well, when I first searched it out, I was looking for alternative solutions to her problem. And my Google search was cure anything, and that's how I found you.
Yeah, that's history. So what about right now, about you?
I have a question we could ask. How about asking would it be good if we removed some of her cancer right now? All of us. Just remove her cancer.
Should we remove her cancer right now?
Yeah. Maybe instead of saying should, let's ask would
Don't say should.
Yeah, would it
Never say never. Never say should. I don't know.
Okay,
well,
so
what should we say?
how should I phrase it?
Let's see. Is it good for us to remove her cancer right now?
Is it good for us to remove her cancer right now? Yeah, I'm feeling that strong again.
Okay, me too. So let's just say I'm now removing. What's her name anyway? Oh, there you go. I got some picture.
Yeah, it just escaped me.
Her name? That's okay. Say I'm now removing cancer from my friend's highest bodies. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We can all do it. So I'm removing cancer from all the bodies of my friends.
I'm afraid the feedback is still Micah.
I got feedback.
Yeah, we have feedback from your microphone, your speakers into your microphone. Maybe you'd be on a headset or put your microphone away from your speakers or turn down your speakers or something like that.
I don't see anything. Oh, yeah. Hey, Micah, see, it doesn't feed back when you talk. It feeds back when I talk. Get your speakers away from your microphone.
Speakers?
If you can. I don't know what kind of computer you have.
Or turn them way down.
I just disconnected it from an alternate device I had in. So how does that sound now?
Well, let me tell you, no good. It didn't help at all. I'm getting the same level of feedback.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, how's that?
Check. Test.
Buyer's gotta talk to check it.
No, you don't. Anybody does. So
No, anybody can. And what's good?
That's better.
That's
Sounds
good.
better.
It's better, obviously better. Okay, Barb, go back to, and Boots, go back to what you guys were doing with Micah. This is very good stuff here.
Okay, let's remove the cancer.
Yeah.
Do you remember her name yet?
I can. Hold on 1 second. Let me look it up.
It's not that important.
Let's just remove all the cancer in anybody right now.
Yeah, typical guy. I can't remember her name. Just
Remember
my
the
God.
guy remembers what's wrong with her, but not her name. He remembers what he wants to fix
Yvette.
about her, but not her name. Just kidding.
Yvette.
Yvette?
Yvette.
Okay, so you'll just say, I'm now removing Yvette's cancer from her higher bodies.
I'm now removing Yvette's cancer from her higher bodies.
And then you wait for your signal.
I'm getting one, but it's not that strong.
Okay. Say I'm removing from all her bodies.
I'm now removing cancer from all Yvette's bodies.
Cancer tends to come through the gravitational body, so we could focus on that one too.
Okay, it's starting to kick in.
Cool. Okay, so now I'm removing cancer from her gravitational body.
Now I'm removing cancer from Yvette's gravitational body.
Are you getting the signal, Ross?
Yes.
I am too.
Okay.
Yes.
You got a signal?
Yes, I got one.
Good. Well, maybe you can go through some of the other bodies. Boots.
Oh, it's getting a lot stronger now.
Good.
Okay. All right, well, we'll go through the bodies and remove it. Let's start with the celestial body. I'm now removing cancer from Yvette's celestial body.
I'm now removing cancer from Yvette's celestial body.
First, check if it's there.
Okay, good question. Good idea. So
Okay,
she's saying, ask, is she having?
So you want to ask, is there cancer in Yvette's celestial body?
Is there cancer in Yvette's celestial body? When I asked that question, my whole forearm got warm.
Okay.
So is that a yes?
Yeah, there was a change. It only happened when we asked the question. Now it's back to normal.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
You may have different experiences. Just each time determine whether it's a yes or a no.
Okay.
Okay.
So now you want to remove it. I'm now removing cancer from Yvette's celestial body.
I'm now removing cancer from Yvette's celestial body. Yes.
Okay, got a signal? Good. All right, so let's try the spiral body. Ask does Yvette have cancer in her spiral body?
Does Yvette have cancer in her spiral body? Yes.
Okay, I'm now removing cancer from Yvette's spiral body.
I'm now removing cancer from Yvette's spiral body. Yes.
Okay. Ask if Celeste has cancer. I mean, did I say Yvette? Yvette, sorry. Does Yvette have cancer in her etheric body?
Does Yvette have cancer in her etheric body? Yes.
Okay. Now you can remove it. I'm now removing cancer from Yvette's etheric body.
I'm now removing cancer from Yvette's etheric body. Yes.
Okay. Now let's check the astral body. Does Yvette have cancer in her astral body?
Yes.
Okay. Now you want to remove it?
I'm now removing cancer from Yvette's astral body.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. Now check the karmic body.
Does Yvette have cancer in her karmic body? Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and remove it.
I'm now removing cancer from Yvette's karmic body. Yes.
Okay. Next would be the mental body.
Does Yvette have cancer in her mental body? Yes.
Okay, let's remove it.
I'm now removing cancer from Yvette's mental body. Yes.
Okay. How's your signal going?
Something really interesting happened. When we asked about her mental body,
Yeah.
no, it was the one, what was the one before the mental body?
Karmic.
The karmic body.
Mm-hmm.
It was moving heavy, and then it kept moving, but it went down some. The intensity of the signal, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
And then when you said the mental body, then I felt it in my hands, but I also felt it in my leg twitch.
Well, that happens to me too. I get a leg twitch and a finger signal. Go figure. I mean, not always. I think when it's really strong, I get like...
Do you feel Micah, do you feel any different than you did when you started the meeting?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, really hot right now, to the point that I have my window open. It's cold outside and I'm sweating.
Great. Any other differences?
I really feel this strong swirling sensation in my hands and in my fingertips.
Okay. Anything else?
My eyes are blinking.
Okay, good. Anything else?
The tingling sensation is going all the way up to my forearms. It started out on the left, now it's on both.
Okay.
And
Now,
my feet feel really grounded.
okay, you.
Ask if any of those signals are the cancer leaving you or Yvette or both.
Everybody should test the question Barb just said. We should
Are
all
those
test
signals
it.
an indication of the cancer leaving?
Are the signals indication of the cancer leaving me or Yvette?
And Yvette.
Me and Yvette.
Everybody, what do you get? Bootsy, what did you get?
I got a yes.
Franny, what did you get?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Okay.
As we say on Telemundo, go! Go!
Okay. So now just to briefly, I don't want to get into a discussion of this, but I just want to say this to you, everybody, that the problem with curing somebody else is not that we don't cure them, because we do. It's that they get it right back.
Right.
Because her gravitational body, if you erase that cancer, sometimes it sticks, especially when you're doing it with like a baby or an animal or something. You can cure cancer in animals very easily, but with a person, their gravitational body will get that cancer again because it thinks it needs it. So just to be warned there that
Can we remove the codes that would cause
we gave
gravitation?
no. It's not codes that cause it.
Oh.
It's just the thing, the gravitational body thinks it needs, for whatever reason, it got it into its stupid head, that it needs the cancer. So, with cancer also, when people cure cancer, remember Darren?
Yeah.
Like with everything that we did with her, we probably cured her cancer and then the medical treatment killed her.
Right.
Remember that?
I was thinking about Darren too because she had the same thing where she got really hot when she was doing it.
Yep, she was great, but there's an awful lot that can go wrong and very few things that can go right.
Right.
So, but one thing, the reason I let this go on and I wanted to do it is because it was great practice for everybody, especially Micah. And that was what Micah needed to do right there, was practice getting his signal. And now that you've practiced and you know you can get a signal now, Micah, so you need to wander around all day doing things that could cause a signal and get signals, okay? It's just,
okay.
It has to be an all-day continuous, you never stop, 24/7, we're always open, we never close. Get it?
Okay.
All right. So with
I just got a really interesting signal. When I opened my eyes up and I looked, my hands were black.
That's an interesting
Interior, my hands are normally like, they have that white color. They were black.
Right. Wow. Great.
The left one blacker than the right one.
Great. Well, you can never be too black. Okay. So I could stand to be a little blacker. Now, so Micah, do you have a smartphone?
Yes, iPhone.
Okay, so you have an iPhone, and so, see, you have what you need to succeed with this. And you don't have to join the web college if you don't have any money. But you have a smartphone, and if you didn't have any money, you'd still have to get a smartphone. But since you have a smartphone, you know, you're all set. And what you need to do is watch movies all day and use what you hear in the movies as jumping off places to get signals. Understand?
Yes.
Now, what you're also going to need, if you want to play with us, you're going to need a Twitter account, a Facebook account, and a YouTube account. You can set those up after you get off the phone with us. Okay?
Okay.
Now, for everybody else who has these things, let's go to my Facebook wall and see what is there. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. And I'm going to
go to the wall.
Of course, when I try to do this, my screen freezes for 5 minutes. But anyway, what I want you to do is first share the things that you see on my Facebook wall. And then as you go down and you share those things, you're going to run across a note. It's a Facebook note about movies. And what I did is I put all the movies on a note. So, oh, it's at the top. What do you know? It's right at the top. It says YouTube movies required for the Cure team. And Jen watched The Kenner Problem already. And have you watched any other ones, Jen? You can look. You can click.
Yeah, I've watched other ones.
Okay, you can click into this. You have to go into the note to see all the movies that are listed. And then they have all the links are live there, and they'll work. So which other ones have you watched that are on this list?
I watched, I forget his first name, but his last name, Pink.
Oh, really?
And then I watched another Malcolm Gladwell about the spaghetti sauce.
Okay. Did you see, well, tell me which one of these have pink in them?
Well, you put it on my wall.
Oh, yeah, okay. So look on this list, okay? Did you find the note yet?
Okay, I just finally got to your page. Now, what am I looking for? The list?
Now, right at the top, the note is there. And it says, required for the Cure team. See it? YouTube movies required for the Cure team. And you click on that, and that takes you to the note.
Yeah. Okay.
And so if you look down this list of movies, which ones seem like you've seen them?
I got a lot to catch up on.
Well, have you seen... okay, for one thing, one of these movies is the clues to a great story. And you're probably noticing that when one of us tells a story, everybody else is listening. And when the person talking isn't telling a story, which we usually are, but if we're not, we don't listen as closely. So this is why this is an important movie for us. And this guy is wonderful. He wrote Toy Story and Finding Nemo. And
Are these all TED Talks?
Yeah, they're TED Talks. Yeah, you see them? You're looking down the note now, right?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, they're not all TED Talks. No, the Malcolm Gladwells aren't. I don't think. But anyway, I got 2 Malcolm Gladwells on here. So, and of course, this one by The Skill of Self-Confidence is about immunity to people. So, okay. That is the... somebody's typing. Who's typing?
Oh, one of those people.
Typing people?
Yeah, one of those typing people.
I don't know.
Okay,
I couldn't see the screen at the time.
Go down these things and share them. Now, right under the note that you're looking at there, if you go back to my Facebook wall and you go under this note, and you'll see the picture of flowers, and under there's something from Aunt Rant, who says she's a family court counselor. That's what she does. And she says, still watching movies. And this is a person, I've talked to her before on Facebook. She's not a member of our web college. All she does is watch our movies. And she says she's doing very well just from watching the movies. So, hey, all right. I'd rather have somebody do well and not donate anything than donate something and not do very well. If I have to have only one rather than both.
Okay.
I see Ross already shared this note. And thank you for that. Ross, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for liking No Data.
You're very.
The rest of you haven't liked it. Get over there and like it, please.
You're very welcome. Now, Jen, are you sharing these things down on my Facebook wall as you go down?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you're going to hit Day of the Jackal there. There's a link to Day of the Jackal. Remember, I recommended that.
Yeah.
Well, I actually stuck a link on my Facebook wall, and you're a Netflix member, so if you click on it, you'll be able to watch the Day of the Jackal on streaming. Or have you already watched it?
No, I haven't.
Well, you will watch it, and you're going to love it. And
yeah, it's a classic movie.
Yes, a classic movie, and it's a movie about people trying to create a tipping point, and they fail. And so instead of the tipping point they're trying to create, another tipping point happens. So de Gaulle keeps his power. So that was a tipping point for France and for the world. So okay, as we were saying. On Sunday, I went into Netflix streaming and I found another movie that is that kind of movie, like Day of the Jackal, but it's very different. And it's a movie about a tipping point that happens, and these people create this tipping point. And the name of the movie is Margin Call. I do not have a link for it, but it's on Netflix streaming, and it's called Margin Call. And
I've seen that.
Oh, you saw it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how'd you like it?
I liked it.
Yeah, it was a pretty ripping movie. I watched it twice, actually. And Barb watched this movie. I know you have Netflix streaming.
Day of the Jackal or a different one?
Watch them both, but you've seen Day of the Jackal a couple of times. But,
I love it.
But
yeah.
Margin Call is another movie, but it's very, very different from Day of the Jackal, and it's about. Well, interestingly enough, to go back to Micah, when you were in the real estate business, how did you get into that business? Did you do who taught you to do that? What you did in the real estate business?
Actually, I ran into a guy in New Jersey that had a really interesting story. And his story was that when he was 18 years old, he went into the bank to try to get a loan to get a house, and the banker charged him a $1,000 fee. And a few days later, the banker told him that he would not give him a loan, and so he beat the banker up inside the bank because he felt as though he stole his money. So he goes to court, and when he gets in court, he can't understand why the judge is basically telling him that he's at fault and the banker could actually take his money and give him nothing. So this is a guy that really was an uneducated person, but he took all of his time to read and understand how to do paperwork, to do loans and things of that nature. And he was one of the first people to actually do subprime loans. And he figured out how to do it. And he had like a little TV show going on in New Jersey, and he was doing real well, helping friends and family. And then he wanted to expand it, and he had connected to me through a friend, and we started a marketing campaign. that we went from New Jersey all the way down to Georgia in about 6 months. And that's how I actually got started. But then I had another friend of mine. I knew how to do the banking side of it, but I never understood the investor side until a guy bought a book for $250 from a guy by the name of John Alexander. And John Alexander is probably one of the most successful real estate investors in our time. And most people have never heard of him. And what John did is John taught people how to do simultaneous closings, ABC transactions, for little or no money, better than Carlton Sheets and Ron LeGrand and all those people. And we did a deal with John, and we gave John like $250 for this book. And within 2 weeks, we made $30,000 off the transaction by only putting $500 down on the property. So that's how I got in. And then when I got in California, there was a friend of mine that had 4 friends that were losing their houses and all that kind of stuff. And I helped them save their houses. And within about 3 weeks of being in California, I was already like $350,000 richer. And that's what made the show go on. Because I figured if you can do that once, you can do that 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So that's the story.
Well, margin call is about your business, the one you were in before you went bankrupt in it.
Pardon me?
Did you actually declare bankruptcy, by the way?
No, I didn't, but it's the same thing. I went from millionaire to brokenaire.
And what margin call is about, okay, I'm going to try to make this really short because it's not what the meeting is about. But let me give you the bottom line on economics is really very simple. My mother taught me economics, and it wasn't hard for a 5-year-old to learn. Greg, what caused the crash of 1929?
Doubt, mistrust, fear.
No, that's not what caused it. What caused the crash of 1929 was they were trading on 10% margin. So what happened was the market collapsed, and Roosevelt came in and he created the SEC, which then changed the laws and set up a 50% margin requirement. And ever since then, there have been crashes, but no Great Depression because people were on 50% margin. It wasn't all funny money. The real estate market, like when we bought this house, for example, we had a house to buy was like $150,000, let's round it off. And you could have probably put down like $15,000 and bought the house, right? Something like that?
Yes.
I mean, this guy, Micah, is talking about putting down $500 and buying a house. At the time, you could
have put down nothing to buy the house.
Yeah, that's right. So in other words, they were trading real estate. Micah, people like Micah, were trading real estate on no money, zero down, or $500 down, and they bought house after house after house and mortgaged them. And so what margin call is about, it's about the moment when some financial analyst, risk manager, is looking at an algorithm on his computer screen and realizes that the market is going to tank. And so these guys are up all night and they decide that they're going to create the tipping point, because if they don't, somebody else will, next week. And by the way, I'm with them. Okay, I think they did the right thing, because when you're in a situation like that, you want to help the Micahs of the world. And they do. Like, just so you know, in this movie, Micah, I don't know if did you ever see Margin Call?
Never saw it.
Well, it's on Netflix streaming, and I recommend that you click on get yourself some Netflix streaming.
Yeah, I have Netflix.
Okay, well then you can go in your streaming thing and just search Margin. The name of it is Margin Call. That's the name of the movie. Jeremy Irons, Kevin
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore. Who else is in that?
A lot of. Those are the ones I remember.
Great actors. Incredible cast.
Yeah.
Everybody in it was brilliant. But anyway, it's a wonderful movie, and go in there and watch it. But what they do is they realize, but what happens is he realizes it's going to tip. Like there's nothing they can do about that. It will tip. Somebody's going to see it, and it's going to tip it. You know, within days, within hours, somebody could be looking at the same thing they're looking at right now, and it will tip. And what we have decided to tip is Cure. We're like this small group of people who've decided to tip Cure into global consciousness. And frankly, when I discovered Cure 20 years ago, I thought it was going to tip any day, and I didn't realize, that you never can quite tell when something is going to tip, because it's been all this time, it still hasn't tipped. But hey, the century is young. The millennium is young. So with that, to go back to Barb, you were talking about what should we do. Well, okay, last week we talked about action plans. One of your action plans was pasting comments on YouTube movies. Another one was handing out bumper stickers, but it might be a little cold for that, although, there are probably ways you could wander into restaurants or something and ask to hand them out, but whatever. But if you notice, all of the things our action plans are is exactly what Ross said earlier. Remember, Ross, when you said, get new people?
Yeah?
Well, all of our action plans are about getting new people.
Yes.
And an example of a new person, well, Mike is an example of one, but also Anne Rand, the woman I was just pointing out to you on my Facebook wall. She is an example of a new person who's watching movies. And yes, you never know who's going to, work out and turn into a real player. But one thing that we know is that we're players. I mean, the people on this call are players, and there are very few of us. So probably people like us are a tiny percentage of the general population. And we probably always will be. Even after Cure tips, we probably will be. Anybody have anything they want to say about that?
Sounds like the 100 monkey theory.
Yeah, that's relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else got anything they want to say about that? Well, Barb, what happened? Did you actually execute any of your action plans in the last 7 days?
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Well, whenever I'm just hanging out by the computer, I just slap my number up there where it looks like it would be, useful. Or just make a comment or say, I cured this, I can show you how. Or even on some of my own movies that I've made. Or and actually somebody on YouTube actually asked a question on the most recent movie that I made with Jen, and I left my number there. I'm just leaving my number more freely. And what was the other thing? That's it. Made a new business card that has the website on it so I can give it out easier. And just a little calling card. So it just gives me something to do. If I could, even if I do 10 or 20 or 30 minutes a day. That's what they always say in these seminars about home-based businesses. If you just do, put a little attention on it, it slowly builds. So I should have been doing that a long time. I've always put my movies and just let everything go to the website. But if someone needs coaching, until recently they haven't really had my number or contact information, but now they do. Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
I got my number up. I'm doing about 10, 20, 30 minutes a day. Franny actually did a lot of it for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I made it simple. I sort of started cutting and pasting. I put some personal notes sometimes, but...
And I haven't done it for like a long time. But you know what?
Yeah.
Some of those numbers are still there.
Huh.
And people still call me from them. From a year and a half ago. So that's the funny thing. And then, of course, others they take it down within half an hour. It's there and it's gone.
Huh.
You never know who, but,
okay.
You just...
yeah.
I want to ask Jen, what would you say your action plan is for reaching out to new people? Of course, one of the things you do is you teach people like your family or people who you do classes with and so on.
Right.
You've done that, okay. So what about reaching out, because obviously the people that you know may just be people who you've you've sort of like inherited them. They live near you or whatever. But what about being able to be more selective of people? Reaching out to better people, more likely people.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of contact with those people on a personal level. So...
Like who? What do you mean?
Well, I live in a small village, and I don't have a lot of, I know everybody I know now, and I've shown the people, I get new people, but I just don't meet a lot of new people where I live.
Right.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
I was just noticing last night that Jen isn't really easily searchable on the internet either. Like, let's say somebody wanted to meet you, or they saw something in the movie that wanted them to they wanted to work with you or meet you. Like I think you could create a channel too, like a Jennifer Oberth Franklin channel.
Oh yeah, you need your own YouTube channel for sure.
She has one, but it's not with a regular, easily searchable name.
Oh, that would be good. Yes, use your own name on your channel, Boots.
Mm-hmm.
So people like you have, like what you have here on Skype.
Yeah.
Use that.
My Bootsy name.
Yeah, use Jan Bootsy Franklin like on your YouTube channel would be good, so then people can easily find your channel.
Right.
But to go to Ross, like do you have any ideas for, how you would outreach to, people other than your students? Because you teach your students where you're at class, and you've done a lot of wonderful things with them, and we've learned a lot from that. But what about like selecting great people to reach out to? How would you do that?
First of all, it's a question of luck, because you have to meet the great people. And this morning I have practiced something I was inspired to do watching one of the movies. Don't ask me which, because I don't remember the title.
Okay.
As today it's Ladies' Day, I went and I went to the hospital for my exams, and I decided to wish Happy Ladies' Day to all the women I met, and to watch for the reactions. And it was very interesting, because many of them were surprised. Just one of them complained and said, it's not good to have one day for us. We need to be respected all throughout the year, which is right. It's only good if there is one day all for us. And most people, most women, middle-aged women, very young girl, responded with a big smile and wish a good day back to me. And I did this experiment to interact with complete strangers and see what happened. And it felt very good. So, a way to find the right people for Munich can be, for example, when you meet someone, let's say in a waiting room of a doctor or in the queue at the post office or anything, you start chatting. I do it all the time. And then I usually feel when I have in front of me the right person, I can talk about Munich too. And do it. And I have to do it and redo it until I find the right person who can keep this or help and through that person meet others who can keep this. It's a question of manifesting.
Well, that's certainly true.
And I think that if each of us does his own thing to talk to as many people as we can, then one of us will manifest the right person to keep the cure, and it doesn't matter who the person will be. What matters is that a person of us will meet the right person.
Well, I manifested somebody years ago who set me up in the watch band business, which I never would have done for myself. I manifested it by walking into his business and buying some leather findings to make belts out of. And as time went on, I liked working with him. And over 11 months, I bought a huge amount of leather findings, like tens of thousands of dollars worth of leather findings. I started it with $56, and I ended up bringing him thousands of dollars in the Christmas season. But by that time, we had already made the plan of going into the watch band business. That was something that he popped the question in November because he saw that I could assemble. I was somebody who was a good assembler. And so, of course, it was manifesting. It was obviously manifesting, and at the same time, I did something. If I had never walked into his place, I wouldn't have manifested him. If I hadn't been doing what I was doing, I never would have manifested him. So it is absolutely manifesting, and it's also absolutely being in action all day. And for this, you have to be immune to people. You must be immune to people, because if you talk to somebody and you go down from talking, like what Ross, it's exactly what you were saying. This woman got very angry and she said we need to be respected every day, you know. And that's enough to just throw cold water on it. You'll never talk to another person about Ladies' Day again. You know, it's like, oh God, I love Ladies' Day, but I can't talk about it because it's just, I get my feelings hurt, you know. And so you have to be immune.
Yes, I didn't care. I just didn't care.
Yeah.
She wanted to complain and to play victim. Okay, it's her problem.
Well, this being said, what we did with Micah before, if you notice, we chose to practice. Even though, like, so in other words, what I could have done is I could have just put a stop to the whole thing and said, hey, Micah, you know, you can't cure somebody. She's got to do this, you know, like, send her a link on, you know, to her, from your smartphone to her smartphone, tell her watch this movie and, you know, and get her started, you know. But it's, you know, he wouldn't have had any practice then. He would not have practiced. You have to, sure. You just have to do things, you have to do idiotic activities that would come to nothing. For example, Barb, just for the most part, I'll just say this. When you put your number on YouTube movies and people call you, most of the people are no good. And they're not going to cure their herpes or anything else or ever do anything. So it's a pretty idiotic activity. It's Zen. It's the essence of Zen Buddhism, you know, doing this nonsensical activity. Like you go to a Zen monastery and they say sit, and you say, oh, what position should I sit in? And they say, doesn't matter, just sit. You know, and they say, well, you say, well, can I get a drink of water? And they say, no, you just sit. You don't get a drink of water. And you sit for 3 hours or an hour or whatever it is, you know, and your mind goes crazy. And it's nonsensical. That's what makes your mind go so crazy. It's a nonsensical, that's right, it's a nonsensical activity. And so this is how you manifest things, by doing an activity, and it has to be a very focused activity. Like, remember, Barb, years ago, you were out handing out bumper stickers, and a woman, you decided to take a break, and you went into, I guess it was Whole Foods, and this woman came over to you and asked you about it, and she gave you $20. Remember this? Or you were coming out of the store or something, she gave you $20. Did you sit down with her and show her how to test?
I don't think so. We might have done some basic tests. No, I don't think so. You know, we would like sit down. No.
Okay.
She was there.
Well, see, that could again be seen as a nonsensical activity. Just because somebody gives you $20 doesn't, you know, why would you care about, you know, whether they can test or not? They can go to, they have the web address. You gave them a bumper sticker. They can go, you know.
I used to do that too. Like, just it was sort of me putting people off by saying go to the website. But the more we're talking here, the more I really would like to have even if just one person shows up to some weekly place where I say, hey, you know, if you have, HIV or cancer or anything you want to learn how to cure, I have a free class, a free get-together, this place, at this time, and just do it, whoever shows up.
We already have something.
No, but I mean here in Santa Fe where I can see people.
We already have something, and you can have it in Santa Fe. Just have them there while we do it.
Yeah, but I mean, if I bring them to a prayer meeting, you just see that's a long evening.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? You see what the thing that you fall into is you try to create new things. You know, we have something, so let's do something else.
It was like an old thing I never did, really.
No, you know what? It's not an old thing. What we do is prayer meetings, and it is a long evening, especially if you have them in there for an extra hour and a half. And that's what they need. And if they don't want to come, that's okay too.
Okay.
But to get back to, see, you don't really need to do that, but what you could have done, well, like, okay, let me give an example. Let's say Micah gets a hold of a bunch of bumper stickers. Micah, I'll talk about you. How about that?
Okay.
Let's say Michael lives in LA, so let's say he gets a hold of a bunch of bumper stickers and he decides he's going to go meet some good people, so he goes to Rodeo Drive to hand them out, which is where all the movie stars buy their clothes. So he's wandering around the street, stopping people and saying, please put this on your car, you know, and, you know, George Clooney is there and he says, oh, well, you know, I mean, I have a Bentley and I don't want to, you know, wreck the paint, so I really don't want to put it on my car. But I'll tell you what, here's $500, you know, keep up the good work. And he tries to walk on. Micah says, hey, wait a minute. You know, why don't I show you how to cure something? Only take 5 minutes. And so Clooney goes, really? Oh, okay, you know, 5 minutes I got, you know, to learn how to cure something? Sure, or why not, you know? Now, obviously, this is manifesting. You know, because Clooney could just say as easily, no, I can't, God, I'd love to stop, but, you know, I'd spend half an hour, but, you know, I just told this guy I have to meet this guy. I'm already 10 minutes late and I'm feeling really guilty, so I got to run, and he runs off. And so, but the point is, like, if you do that enough, and See, it's not so much a matter, Barb, of doing a little bit or a little.
I think we have to install the reflex, because it's a lot of stuff. Like now that you're saying this, I'm remembering all the people I've seen, like just happened again yesterday, that have cars that like bumper stickers that are relatively famous or important. Like even that guy that was leading that seminar started talking about his Bentley that he owned. I mean, I have to remember, like that would have been a good time for me to walk up to him with a sticker and talk about that. Or yesterday was like Lisa Law, this woman in town. She loves bumper stickers, but I forgot to ask her.
Well, see, it's not a reflex. It isn't a reflex. It has to be your day. It has to, like your life has to be about it.
I used to always carry them around.
Like if
somebody made me a little pouch once for my stickers. I guess I should dig that thing out.
Well, you know, I was looking at, for example, let me give you another example. Okay, I was looking at Greg's Twitter. And Greg sent out several tweets on February 20th, and then he sent out several more on March 3rd. Greg went 11 days without tweeting.
Greg?
Would you say that Greg's life is about, you know, I mean, see, you stop to think about that and you go, okay, well, gee, I haven't seen Greg in a while.
Greg, your fans are going to be worried about you.
Yeah, where's Greg? You know, what happened to him? See, so yeah. We have and also see another thing nature. with this your passive aggressive nature. Thank you for saying that. With this thing that we've got, Micah, this is something you should really make a mental note of.
Okay.
You must learn to use your equipment. Like Bootsy, how do you tweet? Do you type your tweets or do you use a voice recognition program?
No, I just type them on my smartphone or on the computer. I don't have voice recognition.
But you know, you can download a free voice recognition program onto your smartphone.
Yeah, I think I could. Well, I'll try that.
Well, it's the same one I have. It's Dragon, whatever it is. The Dragon app. It's a free, Dragon has a free app. And the way and also another thing that you all should do this and you would like this. Dragon has several apps, but one of them is the one that, you know, I'm talking to Jenny about. You know, where you know, it's your voice recognition, but there's another one called Dragon Go. And with Dragon Go, you type in, or what you do is you say, you tap the thing and you say Malcolm Gladwell, and then it just goes into, like, it has Malcolm Gladwell, and it does a search on your smartphone, and it searches Malcolm Gladwell, and it will be probably on Google, and there's a little bar at the top, and you can scroll through the bar and tap YouTube, and it will change it to YouTube. So you'll have this YouTube search on Malcolm Gladwell or a Google search or anything. And you see, I noticed with both Franny and Greg is that neither of them have ever, and Jen too, like, you have not got your Dragon app, because you don't have to train it. If once you download it, you'll type what you say.
I'm looking for it right now.
I know, it's pretty accurate too, you know. So it needs very little correction. And another thing, Jen, is like, you need to get your Twitter linked to your Facebook wall because you send very good tweets. I love your tweets, and your Facebook friends should see them.
They should. I'll try it again.
Because they're good. And you know, we had this Twitter widget we were trying to install, and it wouldn't work. And after a long time, Franny, she read a news group about it, and she found how to make the app, make the thing work. And that's the thing you see going through the home page that has you guys on it. That's your tweets.
Oh, yeah.
Your tweets
cool.
Go through the home page. So Barb, you are now, somebody can reach you through the home page of our web college just by looking there, and they'll see your tweet, and they click on that, and they've got Barb, and then they can send you a private message on tweet, or they can tweet to you, or whatever, you know. But you're there. You're one of the, you know, as long as you keep tweeting every day, your face is going to be there every day.
I'm a Twitter artist.
You are. And see, that's why I need Greg and Franny, because I need them on our Facebook wall. Now, when I look at Ross and I look at her tweets, one of the things I wanted to say, Ross, is I think that with your tweets, I think you have succeeded, at least in my case, in keeping me connected with Roberto and you, and the challenging time that you're going through with his, I guess he has bladder cancer, is it?
Yes.
You know, and you have succeeded in involving me. It's like I was there with you. You know, and it's every day, all day, throughout the day, at no particular time, you know. Could be in the evening when I'm sitting having dinner, or in the morning when I wake up, and I connect with you over, and him too, over and over and over again. And this, well, Tess, does that have a curative effect on Roberto?
I guess yes.
Yeah. And I would say that's probably true of, who else feels like they connect with, you know, this issue each day?
With Ross?
With Ross and Roberto and the cancer.
Yeah, totally.
The cancer issue. Greg raised his hand. Look at this. That was good.
Ross is a great Twitter artist.
What about Nell? Do you read their tweets? Oh, your microphone's off. Nell, your microphone's off. Oops. Oops, you're right.
No, I haven't been looking at the tweets the last few days. I've been very, very busy. But I was interested. Last week you said something about the immune dysfunctions. They moved them, and I've done that. The immune dysfunctions towards communication.
Oh.
That made a lot of difference for me.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I feel different. I have said a few more things on Facebook so far.
Good.
I'm getting ideas and doing things about it. It made a tremendous difference.
Great.
Just to improve the immune dysfunction against communication. Yeah.
Great. Great.
That was good.
Well, I just want to tell this story again for Bootsy and everybody. But like you and I were talking about, like, you contacting better people, right? A little while ago. Boots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, tell you a story. Back a long time ago, I wrote, you know who Louise Hay is, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wrote to Louise Hay long, long ago about, you know, the Cure Drive. Never heard anything from her back. Then I was talking to a woman who I made a movie with, and we were just talking, I don't know, not about that, but just about anything and everything, and she mentioned that she liked Louise Hay, and I said, oh, you know, great, she's terrific, you know, and she said, you know, well, she said a while back, she had written to Louise Hay and asked her a question, and Louise Hay either wrote her a very long response or called her on the phone or something, but they talked back and forth for a while. So Louise Hay is a real person out there who sees somebody who she thinks she can help, and she takes an interest, and it's pretty decent. You know, she's a pretty decent person. And so actually, the truth is that there's really no telling who will respond, who will talk to you, because it seemed like when I wrote to Marla Silly, I just knew what to say. I don't know, there was just something. For one thing, do you know, Boots, weren't you telling me that you like Marla Silly, that you have been following her stuff?
No.
Oh, somebody else did. Ross, was that you? Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. Oh, there's a Louise Hay. Look at that. That's great. Okay. So, you know what I did? I wrote at the top of the thing that I wrote to her. First I wrote a note to her assistant. I didn't even wait for her not to see my email. I just wrote a note to her assistant. And I said, make sure she sees this. And she called me. So, and I will say this, that, you know, whatever else happened, Marla Silly is the reason we have a cure tally. Like, she was telling me that she was very big on doing polls. Mm-hmm. And I said, interesting, because we could poll people and tally their cures, and that's how the whole idea of the cure drive with the tally and everything else started in a creative conversation that I had with her. I do better in creating things in conversations like this with people like you. That I, talk about things like what Ross said, find new people. Right at the beginning of this call. That set the tone for the whole call. And I said I intend to do much better than I did at the last Cure Team meeting, and I think I have today. I think that this meeting is way beyond the previous meeting. Way beyond the previous meeting. And that one was terrific, so... So the thing is that practicing, tweeting is practicing, and also writing to people is practicing, contacting people. And practice makes imperfect. When you practice, you become less and less perfect as time goes on. And when you're less perfect, it takes far less time, and you are far more you and far more real, because practice does that, because you just give up. You give up trying to be perfect. You give up hoping that someday you'll get to the point where you need to be. And you do something now. And to do that, you just start doing something. You do something. Do anything. Like Micah, what I was saying to you before is like, see, to me, I think you're at the stage where you just need to watch more movies. Like, yes. How many movies have you actually watched or listened to? I should probably say listen to, because I don't watch them. I don't know about you, but, I wear a Bluetooth and the thing's in my pocket, and I walk around and I listen to them. So how many have you listened to?
Like 2 of them, not many.
Okay. So, log in 20, 30 hours, you'll be in a whole different place.
Okay.
Just start playing them. Click on one and let it play. You don't have to pick them too carefully, because they're all good. The thing about this is, these people are channeling God, including you. Like, we're all sitting here channeling God. So, one thing that helps me when I'm talking to you is that it's God talking to me. God is guiding me through you. And, I'm like hoping to see us get, bored with inaction and like execute action plans that are dynamic. And that where there's, we always have to realize that we can never fail, because if nothing else, you always get practice from anything you do. Like when Micah calls, what was her name again?
Yvette.
Yvette. When Micah calls Yvette and her cancer is unchanged, what he will know is that he practiced. He got practice. He felt something. He's better. And Yvette may die. He may never be able to help Yvette. Yvette may have just been the catalyst that got him to help himself. And there's been a lot of people like that in my life, and I feel, you know, it's really too bad, because I feel like they deserve this. But, you know, they didn't get it. Like Bonnie Albin is dead. And Bonnie Albin was a big help to me and very intuitive. But she's gone. You know, she did not stick with this. She did not take to it for whatever reason. I don't know why. And really, she needed something like these groups that we have, like the Cure meeting, because a lot of stuff happens in the Cure meetings, you know, and certainly in these, you know, and a lot of stuff happens in these things too. But boy, she brought me someplace, but then, you know, she couldn't bring herself. And there's a lot of people like that. So we have to understand that people are always giving us something. We need to just reach out to them. That's the important thing, is for us to be active in reaching out, because they're not going to reach out to us, you know, mainly. Like, they're really like the people that call me, you know, because from my number, like on YouTube movies, people call me like every day. I get calls. And they don't have the right idea about doing something for themselves. Because when you can be doing something for yourself, but they think that means they're supposed to be alone. And they feel alone. Like, most of these people feel alone, and they are alone. Even some of them, they're married or whatever, and they're like in their little shell inside of their marriage. Jen, were you ever like that in your marriage?
Yeah, there was a time.
But not most of the time, though.
No. No.
Most of the time, you are not alone.
No.
You're in partnership, you know, and we have a partnership. Us in this, you know, we're sitting here, all of us together. We have a partnership, and they don't know that. They don't even know that's possible, and there's no way to tell them. There's absolutely no way to tell them. So, I mean, I like seeing, like, when you guys write to Alejandra, and, you know, like, Ross, I love reading the things that you write, Ross. I have to say, like, you're a booster, you know? Like, you write things to Alejandra, like, you say, like, hey, girl, you go, you know, you're great, and she is, you know?
Yes.
I appreciate
absolutely.
that. I appreciate that. Like, God, I'm glad I'm not the only one doing that. You know?
She has done really a lot.
She's worked miracles.
Overcoming her panic attacks and lots of things.
Alejandra has worked miracles for herself.
Yes, I agree.
All right.
I have to say, also thanks to Barb, and she knows it.
Barb, you are a master. And you know, I wanted to get into like the difference between being a master and being masterful today. And since I have like 5 minutes that I can spend, you know, before we absolutely have to end at 1:15, I wanted to tell Bootsy, you know, do you remember the other day when we played that role and where you were John McDonald, and remember that you sort of, as we played the role, you turned into John McDonald.
I do go, yeah.
And I like, you know, I remember less and less about it as the weeks pass. We must play another role soon. But anyway, so to refresh our memories.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. See, what I wanted to say to you is that there's a big difference between being masterful and being a master. And when we played that role and you turned into John McDonald, you came into your being a master. You came into your mastery. See, you changed from trying to be masterful at imitating John McDonald
McDougal, yeah.
McDougal, I'm sorry, into...
Excuse me, everyone. I have to jump off because I have my appointment here.
Okay.
Oh, it was a pleasure talking to everybody, and I'll talk to you.
We'll see you Monday.
I thank you.
Listen, Micah.
Monday.
Yes. Have a good day.
Oh, and by the way, Boots and Barb, Thursday morning next week.
Thursday morning.
Thursday, not Tuesday.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Anyway, what was I in the middle of saying?
The John McDougal.
Mastery and masterful.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Boots, have you ever thought that maybe, like, all the ways that you try to be masterful interfere with your mastery?
Oh yeah.
So that's your practice, is to practice being a master. It's all of our practice, except, of course, see, Barb is a master. Franny is a master. Maybe Ross is a master, and maybe Greg is, maybe Nell is. I think Nell may very well be, and we don't exactly look like masterful. I used to eat with a master chef, and he would make a sushi rice ball for, a customer that he was sending to a table, and he would make this ball with the fish on top and put it on the butcher block, on the little block, serving block, and it would fall over. And the piece of fish would fall off. and then he'd do it again. And one time he did that a couple of times, and then he looked at me and he laughed. And this guy was the executive chef at one of the top restaurants in New York. And he had his face on the cover of New York Magazine, and he couldn't make a rice ball. But he was a master, and they knew it, and that's why he was the executive chef. So we have to not try to make ourselves make a rice ball. No perfect rice balls. And lots of action. Home cooking. Anybody else want to say anything before we go?
Jen has something to say. Let's go to
the
data.
Yes.
144th extension.
Okay.
Let's do it. Thanks, Rob.
You just got reminded of who you are once again, Jen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
Thank
ciao.
Thursday.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
This movie was given to you by HUM, the World Ministry of Immunics, which enables you to cure medically incurable diseases. We also produce the Cure Drive and the iCollege of Immunics. This is the home page. And as you see here, the movie that starts playing automatically when the page opens is a 3-hour tutorial film, which underneath it is the beginning of a series of movies. If you click on these links, you go to another movie that's a continuation of the tutorial, showing different aspects of the things that people need to get into when they cure things. The movie shows many people curing things. You'll find complete cure tutorials on the home page. Under the group at the top is another. This is a video and text tutorial, and if you click on the link, you'll see it has 10 lessons, and you can click on each lesson and you'll see it that the lessons are movies interspersed with explanations. And if you continue scrolling down the home page, you'll find a huge bank of movies of people curing things. Here's one of someone curing multiple sclerosis that you can click on and these play. Hopefully this one will play in a moment. There it is. So that woman cured PPMS and MS. Here you'll find people from every continent: Europe, the US, Asia, Canada. This woman cured shingles, and in this particular movie that's what she's demonstrating. And at the top of the home page you will find links to the cure meetings that we have every week. 9 p.m. New York time, Rome time 8 p.m. Underneath the cure meetings you'll find a link to friend me. It's actually Byard. I'm Byard, speaking to you on Facebook, and you'll meet many people who are my Facebook friends there who have cured various diseases. Many of us have cured herpes, which is what I cured. Also there, if you have trouble getting signals, there is a whole bank of movies that focus on people who are just starting to get their first signals. Many of these people went on to bigger and better things, and you see them in other movies. But these are movies about their signals, how they got their first signals. At the very top of the home page, you will find above the masthead a link to the cure shows. And we documented people curing things on, we did this on the phone. There are shows on about 75 diseases, and the diseases are listed alphabetically, as you can see. You actually hear the people curing these diseases during these shows. That's post-traumatic stress syndrome from 9/11, the catastrophe. We have a show on that, and fever, somebody curing the fever, several people curing fibromyalgia, flu. We had a flu hotline, and there are many people. These people are actually curing flu, and the flu stops. It clears up during the 15 or 20 minutes of the call. It doesn't take long to cure the flu. Over here you have paralysis, parasitic parenting, Parkinson's disease. When you cure something, please join your voice with the voices of the many people who came before you by reporting your cure in our poll, which you can do right above the tally of the cures that people have reported is here at the top. And as you can see, there's a little link here. And if you click on that, you will come to a form that enables you to report your cure. This page is the hub of the Web College, and as you can see, there are detailed lessons on how to remove viruses, cure cancer. Here's a movie on the right here of a doctor who actually years ago cured the flu on camera. You'll notice that skill 1 in the hierarchy of skills is cure physical diseases. That's actually the easiest thing with this particular approach. And I've put a great many things in the hierarchy of skills that relate to curing physical diseases, such as ending trauma, working on your organs. Now, if we go into the Recode Your DNA, there are 10 applications or 11 applications, and Recode Your DNA is one of them. If we go inside here, what we see is a page with a huge amount of links. And then if we look at the links on the right, after the ones on the left which prepare you, these are the actual lessons. And you can see some of them. It might be hard for some people to see why blind installation procedure is related to recoding your DNA. And this is why we've put it in this application, so that it relates it in your mind. This is the reason the Webb College is organized the way it is to relate things for you in your mind. And obviously there are a huge number of things, like if you're curing cancer or herpes or any medically incurable disease, it's obvious that there are a great many things that you have to learn. And they're different for everybody. You do not have to learn everything that's listed here. And in fact, cure is instantaneous. And it's always unexpected how it will come. Like, watch these women. They're going to give you a perspective. This is a good way to conclude this little overview I'm giving you here. Say, can I go to the 144th dimension? See if you get a signal on that. Can I go to the 144th dimension?
Can I go to the 144th dimension? Yes? I guess I can.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay, both of you go to the 144th dimension.
I'm taking myself to the 144th dimension.
Me too.
No stopping for gas on the 8th dimension.
I feel clear.
I feel less interested in anything below the 144th dimension.
Can we stay here all the time?
I know, exactly.
Well, I mean, this would take a lot of backstory, but there's some decisions that my family's making that I now feel clear about.
Yes, because when you have that perspective from the 144th dimension,
yeah,
you simply don't care about anything as much.
That's exactly it. But I don't care doesn't sound so good.
Well, see, that's right.
That is it. That's really
not an effect.
When people hear we say we don't care, they go, "Well, God, that's sick," you know.
Okay, I know.